Alright, what is up, Scatter Crew? The snow removal gang? Is that what we should call it? Snow removal gang. We are the snow removal gang. Anyway, so check this out. We are back, and one thing I wanted to kind of discuss is salt. I want to discuss salt for a sec because, you know, to be honest, it's a good thing to sell. And if you're not selling salt, you need to be. The reason why, in my opinion, is basically, oh, excuse me. Hold on just a sec, I got here a little phone call here. But yeah, so we are going to, I don't know, the biggest selling point for salt for me is basically its liability. Now, some people may claim, oh, we don't want salt, we don't need salt. Well, if I'm gonna be plowing a property for somebody, I'm salting it. They might not, you know, maybe they're trying to talk me out of it, but I'm trying to talk them into it and say, look, it's cheaper to have me salt than to have you, you know, get in a lawsuit, which it is. I mean, it's cheaper. Plowing and salting for this property, not necessarily this property, but any property in general, okay? So let's take, for instance, we're going to be doing, you know, these little apartment buildings. Well, I told them that I need to salt, period. Like, they don't really have a choice. If I'm plowing, they are basically getting salt. And if I'm doing the sidewalks, same thing. They're getting ice melt down on the sidewalks. Now, like I said, it's a liability to me to not put it down, because if somebody were to slip and fall, even in a contract, I'm going to get dragged into it one of two ways. Either I'm going to get dragged into the lawsuit because I didn't put salt down and we were responsible for the snow removal. Now you got to figure, even if it's on contract, dude, these people, these lawyers, these folks that are taking care of this kind of stuff, they don't care. They're coming after whoever is involved. So, by involved, that means because you have the plowing contract, all of a sudden you are involved. Now, you may come back to him and be like, oh, well, my contract says that, you know, this. Well, they don't care what your contract says. Your contract with the property owner will basically, in my opinion, get trumped by the law. And the law, I guess, states that you gotta do, you know, you gotta try to do your thing to remove the snow and ice. So, like, residential folks, the mailman, if you're not doing your duty to plow or, you know, shovel the sidewalks at your own house, and the mailman slips, man, they could sue you. And you'd probably get in trouble, and you'd probably have to pay a fine and drag your homeowner's insurance into it, and they'll probably get a lot of money from your insurance because the mailman slipped because you didn't remove the snow from your sidewalk. It's the same thing. Like, contract wise, for me to remove the snow, like I said, I tell everybody, these management companies, I say, we are salting. So For example, I used to do some Village Inns. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Village Inn, a little restaurant. But, you know, I plowed them for a little bit, and it got to a point where I needed to sorry, I'm just trying to watch myself here. They didn't want me to salt. They were like, oh yeah, don't salt. And I'm like, no, I'm salting. And they were like, well, it's at the manager's discretion if we need salt. So I quit doing those properties because I'm not gonna be dragged into no lawsuit because the manager is trying to be cheap and save on salt, when in my opinion they never had me salted, not once. Even when it truly needed it, like, they didn't give a crap. They were just like, oh, we'll take care of it. I'd drive by later and the parking lot was slippery and just, it was a mess. So if you're not salting or selling your salt services, if you are plowing, you need to start. I don't know why you wouldn't try to sell the salt. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you're trying to sell it, but like I said, my biggest selling point is basically saying, hey, no, this is a necessity. We are salting. So yeah, anyways, that's just kind of a little thing that I've got with the salting, as far as it's a necessity and a requirement if I'm plowing your property. I know a lot of companies who don't care. They just want to plow. They just want to make the money. But man, the salting's, if you're not salting and selling it, at least one, even if it's just one bag. There's properties I do that I probably charge about the same to salt it as I do to plow it. And it doesn't take me that long to salt. I mean, my biggest thing time-wise is just obviously picking up the salt, throwing it in my salter, and salting. It's really not that hard. Just time, you know, time for time. There we go. Time for time. Salting is better money. And yes, I am plowing in two-wheel drive here, so if you see me getting squirrely or hear my motor wrapped out and stuff, yeah, I'm kind of slipping in two-wheel drive for all you Jeep Nazis out there. Anyways, there's not really too many Jeep Nazis for the most part, man. A lot of people are digging it. I'm digging it. I love it. It's making me money. And yeah, off of this property here, I'll probably make a good, after salt, probably a good $700 or so. So yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Brings in a little cash money, I shall say. Check that. Oh, that was like a rhyme. Anyways, check this out. Let's make a phone call here. Hello.
Hey, you out already?
I am out. Yes.